Hello, everyone, and welcome back again to Z-Man Zombies, Movies, and More. As always, I'm your host, Mike Schilling, and today we are talking about the amazing and awesome movie Avengers Infinity War that just came out a couple days ago. And oh my gosh, guys, this is an amazing movie. I first want to start off by just saying this is going to be mostly a non-spoiler, not mostly, it's going to be a non-spoiler review. I'm not going to talk about anything that's going to give any big things away. I hate spoilers. I only do them in the videos because I figure the people that want to see them are going to come out and see it. But this is going to start off. We're going to do another one later in the week. We're going to include Dustin and Mike, and they're going to come in, and we're all going to talk it over. So first starting off, wow. I mean, just the credit list alone at the very end, just showing all the people that worked on this movie. There were thousands of them, all visual effects artists, just going crazy. This movie, there is so much going on, but yet it's you're able to follow it. Now, I will admit that I am not a huge comic book lover, but I do know about the characters and some of the lore and whatnot. And I had to look up a little bit of information on the stones just so I understood what's going on. And it might help you going into it. There is a small scene in the movie where it actually talks about the Infinity Stones and kind of what they're a little bit about. And it really helps you to understand what Thanos, the main villain, is after and why he wants them. So as we move into the movie, let me just say that, they're going against the biggest bad A villain there is known to the Marvel Universe. So it's not a spoiler to say there is some death in this movie, but it's not what you expect at all. We had some other friends. They had all these theories. They were reading the fan theories, just being like, "Oh yeah, so and so is gonna die. This isn't gonna work out, and whatever." Guys, whatever you thought you were gonna come in and see this movie, you had no idea. Especially since we knew that there was going to be 2 installments to this whole segment with Thanos and whatnot. So, I thought we were going to go in and see a certain, maybe he grabbed this or that or whatever. So again, I'm not going to spoil it for you, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But just getting into it, yes, this movie is heavily cinematic effects. I mean, I'm pretty sure that 80% of this movie was shot in front of green screen. But all the actors are back. You have everybody. Black Panther back just after his amazing movie that just came out recently. Captain and Tony Stark, and and then there's some pieces where they're trying to build the story. So there are some segmented groups. They're out completing their own tasks. But unlike other movies that have failed before, like Star Wars: Last Jedi and some others, their tasks were very meaningful, and they were a big piece to the puzzle in order for them to do what they need to do, which is obviously they're trying to stop Thanos from basically killing half the universe. So that's not really a spoiler. I mean, you find that out pretty much in the first 10 minutes of the movie. But that's the whole point of these Infinity Stones and what they're trying to do. So, it's pretty much this crazy, hectic mess of all of these superheroes trying to come together and work through their differences to try and fight the common enemy, which for the most part they do very, very well. And like, again, Marvel and their writers and their whole crew, there was a great amount of humor, even though the movie was dark, not so dark as maybe some believe the DC universe to be. Of course, I think it works with DC, it just kind of makes sense. But this movie had a good element of dark to comedy, and even love story even too, if you want to bring the wives out. I know both my buddies brought their wives, and they're really into the comic, or excuse me, the Avengers movies and whatnot. So, again, there's just so much going on, and that's why I think at the very end of this video, I'll give you way enough leadway so to basically back out of here and let me just get a few things off my chest, because the things that went down, it's just boom, right? I mean, you just can't believe all the things that went down. But there was some great interactions. You had Spider-Man back at it, and he kind of groups back up with Tony for a little bit. There is some talk about Tony Stark and also Captain and kind of their storyline. Not as much as I would have hoped to. In fact, I kind of wish I would have seen a little bit more Captain in the movie, just because he's one of my favorite superheroes out of the group. It's just something about him. He's just a great leader and just knocks it out. Well, that's the shirt, maybe. But anyways, though, no, it was a great overall compilation. Drax from Guardians, when the Guardians finally come into the picture, which everybody knew, that everybody's coming together in this movie. That dude is so socially awkward and just dry humored. Almost every one of his lines, I heard the entire crowd laughing, including myself. It was hilarious. You had some other cool interactions with Thor and some other people that he runs into, and obviously then you have. There's a lot of great stuff going on, so I don't want to give too much away. So anyways, if you get a chance, please get out there and see this movie. This franchise is going to, as if they're not already pulling in a ton of money, this movie is going to make so much money, which may kind of put in some people's minds, well, I'm not going to go see it. I don't want to keep feeding the corporate monster Disney or this or that. Yes, but that is true. But when you look at what this movie is, and if you're just a true cinema lover, and what this movie brings to the whole story, that real serious factor where now not every superhero is just safe. Their lives are on the line, truly, and they may not all make it out of this one. So I'd highly suggest you guys go out and see this movie. Obviously, it's going to be in the box office for a while. It is going to smash, most likely, all records. I wouldn't have thought it. I think it's going to beat out Star Wars more than likely, Titanic, and everything else that's happened. Will it beat Black Panther? That is a good question. I actually did not get a chance to see Black Panther in the theater, which I'm very ashamed of myself. But all the same, I think this one could probably do it. A very amazing thrill ride adventure, good comedy. If you're wondering about maybe if it's okay for kids, I saw a couple people bring their kids in. In fact, I had to kind of flinch for a second because I was like, I don't know if this is going to be the right one for kids, with everything that's going down. But overall, I think it was okay. Their kids did okay through it. Luckily, they didn't ruin the movie for anybody else. And I think that there are some serious elements in there, but no more serious, I don't think, than the Star Wars franchise. I mean, if you let your kids watch Empire Strikes Back or any of the other superhero movies, then obviously Infinity War will probably be along the lines for them as well. I believe there was very little cursing, if any. I don't think there was any, in fact. There might have been a couple, just a small time words. But either way, so that's for the kid element. As for the grown-ups, if you love seeing the superheroes fly around, do craziness, and try and defeat a major enemy, then this might be for you. Luckily, they didn't overdo like explosions and cities and things going buck wild crazy like other movies have been known to do, like Man of Steel, which I actually really liked. But no doubt, towards the end of the movie, I was like, if they blow up one more thing, I'm just kind of lose it. I mean, it's like, let's just get back to the story. I'm tired of seeing all the effects. Let's just get after it, the story. So this movie does a very good job, and in fact, a lot of the times when they're building the story, the Avengers and everybody else, they're on the ground. They're just talking with each other. They're trying to figure things out. So with that said, that is my quick non-spoiler review for the movie. I don't think I would give it an actual full-on 10 because, I mean, let's face it, to be a 10, it's got to be the most movie that ever blew your mind, but this came so close to it. So I am giving this movie a 9.5 out of 10. Just amazing wow. It's now my favorite out of the universe. In fact, I think pretty soon we're actually going to do a video where we rank our top 5 superhero movies because there's so many of them now. We can actually talk about them all and see, which ones are that near and dear to our hearts. So with that said, we're going to get ready now to talk a few spoilers that I just have to get off of my chest. So I wanted to give you plenty of leadway. And so if you don't want to hear anything about this movie, I'm only going to talk it for a few minutes, but this is a couple of just wow things and a couple things I wanted people to think about as we get ready to start understanding what's going to be in the Avengers 4. So here's your chance. I'm going to give you 5 major long seconds to jump out of here. And make sure you like and subscribe to the video if you enjoy. We also have a bunch of other content on our channel with other movie reviews. We have some really cool zombie prosthetics that we're reviewing that we used in our Dead Nightmare zombie series. So I hope you get a chance to go ahead and check that out. We're working on episode 6 right now. It should be out very early summer. We had to do some reshoots, so unfortunately it's going to take a little bit longer to get out to you guys, but I think it'll be worth your time and you're really going to enjoy it. So again, I hope you get a chance to come back out and see us. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I gave you the chance. Wait. All right, here we go. Whoa, guys. When I got done with this movie, I was just like, wow, what the heck happened? But it was in a great way because I just... the intensity of what was brought and what went down towards the end. So if any of you, I guess, have wholly seen the movie, if you haven't, so Thanos, he's working on getting all the stones, and he starts off the movie, right, he already has the purple one, and I think he's going for the blue as well. And either way, as he keeps moving, which way, I think it was the power, and then he gets the space one. Anyways, but not to get into all the nitty gritty, because we're going to do a more in-depth review when I get Dustin and Mike back on here, because they have a lot more knowledge than I do. But as he ends up getting all of the damn stones in this movie. I had no idea. I mean, knowing it was a 2-part movie, I would have figured, oh, maybe they'll get most of them, and yeah, maybe a few of the heroes might get killed off, this or that, but overall, they'll kind of hold them at bay. No, there's no holding at bay. Thanos does exactly what he does best. He just destroys, and he just makes a mockery out of all our superheroes that we've come to really love, and they're dear to our hearts, and seeing a few of them go out the way they did, and let's just get down to it. What about the ending? And so, again, I said this was going to be spoilers, so hopefully, this is your last chance. But at the very, very end, right, he snaps his fingers, and they all, or half the population on the universe goes. Bye-bye. See you later. We start seeing people disappear all over the place. Tell me you weren't like just mouth almost dropped, just like, what just happened? I can't believe this just happened. But furthermore, what I want to just talk here briefly is just some thoughts for you as you move through, because I was thinking about it after I left the movie, is what could the next movie bring in? Like, how could this be undone? Because Thanos at the end, he's kind of sitting, and he wakes up to that sunrise, which my buddy Mike was thinking that he's still on Earth, like somewhere in the African lands. But when he snapped his fingers, he kind of disappeared, right? And he kind of went to that paradox world when he saw little Gamora. But either way, the point being, I don't know if he's off-world right now. I mean, it doesn't sound very smart that he would hang out on Earth, where pretty much all the superheroes are going to want him dead for what he's done. So I have a feeling he's probably somewhere else. But all the same, some things to think about is, remember when Black Panther's sister was trying to work on the Yellow Stone from Vision, and she was trying to back up kind of like his, I guess, life essence, his memories and stuff like that, and so he can still be maybe brought back one way or another. She finished something, I think, before that henchman for Thanos got in there and started wreaking havoc and whatnot. So I think there's something there that, it was really hit on really quick and then jumped off of. I'm trying to think. There was a couple other things that we saw. Oh, Thor. My buddy Mike had a good point, saying that Thor mentions that, he goes, fate has something in store for me. He goes, if otherwise I would be gone by now. So what are we saying here? Was it that he was going to wield that the new hammer, the pretty much the Thanos killer hammer? So was it Stormwind? I think it was. But either way, was that his fate, or is there even something even more that he's going to bring to the table? So all the same, there's a lot of cool elements here, and we're going to get a list going, and we're going to comprise them for the next video we're going to do later this week, so you guys can hear some more information, and hopefully you've seen the movie by then, or you've had some more thoughts on it. So I'd probably stay away from leaving too many comments about the ending of the movie below, but if you did enjoy the movie, though, I'd love to hear it. If you didn't enjoy it, I'd like to hear why, because I'd have to probably disagree with you pretty heavily. All the same, though, this is Mike Schilling with the Z-Man Show. We're about to sign off here. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video, and we'll catch you next time with the next review. See ya.